Hello, hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Community Solutions Podcast, the only podcast that's inspiring humanity and leadership within and beyond the workplace. It is so good to be with you all today. And guess what? Guess what? Guess what? I have officially recorded my 100th episode. For sure. That was last week. Today is 101. And that is exactly what I want to talk to you all about today, about what it takes, what I have learned through these 100 podcast episodes. So let's get into it. I am so excited. It's definitely a celebration. And as I was recording it or even preparing to record my 100th episode, I recognized the accomplishment, but at the same time, I was working. I just worked. And oftentimes we find ourselves doing that. We reach milestones, but we don't take time to celebrate them because it takes work. We have to go on to the next level. We have to go to the next stage. We have something else on our list to cross off. So today I wanted to just go back and reflect over where I started, where my mindset was, and where I am now, what I have learned through this process. So let's get into it. I'm so glad you all are with me today. For anyone that's out there that are looking to start their podcast, or you've already started and you're trying to figure out what to do, where to go, are you alone? Has anyone else felt like this before? Should you quit? That's what I want to talk to you all about today. Now, when I first started, I knew that I wanted to speak. I knew that I had a message and I was trying to just get it out there, right? Limited resources. So I said, let me just do it. Let me just go. And if you hear anybody speaking about starting up something, they say, use what you have. And so I totally agree with that. Use what you have. They make the cameras on our phones these days, on our cell phones, um, with such high quality that you can go ahead and start there. Start with using just your phone. Now, with podcasts, I started out with only audio. You can start out with video, but I'm just telling you what I experienced and where I am now. So definitely I started out with my cell phone. I had a tripod and I just had it sitting in front of me. And I thought about what I wanted to speak. Matter of fact, before I even started the podcast, I started just taking notes and writing down at least 52 topics that I wanted to talk about. And so I picked 52 because that way I would have one for each week of the year. And that was just my strategy. That gave me more comfort, more of a guide, even though it's not something that was in any kind of chronological order or anything that I had to stick to, but it was just ideas confirming that, okay, I do have topics that I want to talk about. There is room for expansion. There is room to grow. I do have enough content or ideas or enough thought leadership that I can continue. So that's where I started. And I knew I had a message. Not everybody knows what their message is. They just know that they want a podcast. And that is absolutely fine. That is absolutely fine because either way, you learn as you go. So that's number one. I started with my phone. I started with a tripod. I started in my office. I used what I had. Was I consistent in the beginning? No, I absolutely was not consistent. I would make excuses because I would go back and look at the episode. And even though it was audio, I was having trouble with editing and taking it out and it looking choppy. And so I would wait to try to perfect it or significantly improve it. And so that delayed me putting them out consistently. And then also the scheduling. You really have to think about, okay, what day do I want to drop? How often do I want to drop? And you can't just look at that particular day. Let's say you want your episode to drop every Tuesday. Well, you shouldn't look at Tuesday to record. You should be recording a few days before, and then that gives you time to edit. Are you going to be editing yourself with software that's available, or are you going to pass it out and have it contracted to be edited? Now there's software like Riverside. What else did I use? CapCut. So there's all kind of software that helps you with that process. If you are starting with limited funds, you want to just try it out and see how it goes. I know that there are many people who do have the funds, and so they go and they get these elaborate cameras and the whole setup. They hire somebody to come and record. They're using studio time, and that's a large investment. That is a large investment. And what I want to remind you from the top, or for those who don't know, share with you information that I found when I was researching about this. What is the average length of a podcast? How long or how many episodes are recorded before people decide to quit or fall off? So let me just share that with you up front while I have you right here. So on the Riverside website, when I was looking at the different facts, what they were saying was that in 2025, there were 584 million people listening to podcasts, and over half of those were videos. So that gives you a summary or an idea of how many audio, and half of them were videos. And that's where I started to progress to. I started with audio, and as I was recording, I have video for all of them because they're all video, but you can separate the audio from the video. So a majority of mine are only audio. I started uploading my videos to YouTube and then clipping them and spreading them out through social media. I have not done every episode. They have not been in order, but I am working on that. That's something that I am gradually getting together, creating a system, and that's something that you can think about as well. But I am learning as I go. I'm trying to be more efficient. I'm trying to find better ways and actually creating a system so that I can be consistent, not just in dropping them on the designated day, but having a follow-up system after. What happens after they drop? Okay, but now here's what I wanted to tell you about. 44% of podcasts don't make it past 3 episodes. 44% don't make it past, that's almost half, 3 episodes. And only 8% make it to 10 episodes. Only 8. So the fact that I've actually made it to 100, and this one being 101, I am in that 8%. I say all that to say that be mindful of your upfront costs, to make sure that you're comfortable with it. Make sure that it's something that you want to stick to. It may look different on the outside, but once you get in it, you may have a change of heart, especially if it's not just you. If you have other partners, what is that energy like? How long do you foresee that going? Do you have any contracts in between y'all? So those are all things that I would look into had I had co-host, but I do not. I am the only host. It's mostly solo. What I have learned and have recently gravitated to is interviewing people that I'm very interested in. I have received great feedback, and I enjoy it because I'm inquisitive and I want to know, how you get from A to B. It's just how my mind works. And I want people to feel comfortable. And I really want to get to the root of challenges. Like that is my gift, and finding different ways to solving those. So want to share that with you is that only 44% of podcasts that start make it to the 3rd episode, and only 8% make it to the 10th episode. So keep that in mind when you begin this journey. I talked about subjects. I talked about equipment. I did not have like an additional speaker. Microphone at the very beginning. I definitely didn't have. No, I did. I had a attachable microphone to my cell phone, right? But through this time, I have progressed. I have a better camera. I have one that goes on my computer. I have one on my shirt. I had a stand-up microphone, which I need to reinvest in because the cord, went wrong with the cord where it doesn't stay in there. So I need to replace that. And I just like the way the microphone looks better than something on my shirt. But That's the part of pushing through, going through, using what you have. Even at this stage, it's not like I have a huge studio or anything like that. I am creating and sharing my vision, sharing my thoughts, finding my tribe, and growing along the way. I will tell you that doing it on your own, it does take longer because as a team, more people are able to put in and contribute and distribute and share and all of that good stuff. So definitely something to keep in mind. Definitely want to think about what day you're going to drop, and like I said, and what you're going to be doing before and after. Where are you going to record? I've been doing it in my office. I've been doing solo. I am gradually moving into interviewing because I really do enjoy it. So that's something that I knew from the jump that I was going to be speaking and sharing my thoughts because they are unique and they're based off of my experiences. And so when I say my name is Kim, the SME, and that's on my social media, the SME no longer stands for subject matter expert, which was given to me in corporate. I use it as speaker of my experiences. And so when I get on here and I'm speaking, it's about what I have experienced, what I have learned from it, the insight that I have to share, how I can see um, that past projecting my future and directing me and realizing why I had to go through that because I'm using that to propel me somewhere different. So definitely something to think about. It's not just about recording. It's going to be posting, it's going to be sharing, it's going to be engaging. And it's also about monetizing. How are you going to monetize? Do you have a product to sell? Do you have a service to sell? Do you have commercials? Are you bringing people in from the community? And this is something that I am gradually adding to it. Are you going to pause and insert your commercials? Do you think that's a distraction? When you're listening to a podcast, are you distracted by the commercials, the episodes? Do you treat your audience as if they are you? Or are you doing it as in everyone's individual? People may like commercials and not turn away, or do you turn away when you're listening to podcasts? So it's just things that I've learned. I've tried. You'll see if you've watched any of my videos that I've uploaded, if you've listened to any of my episodes, you'll see that I have tried and grown and attempted new things, whether I'm inserting commercials in between, whether I'm changing up my intro. Do you want to have the same intro? Are you following a specific format? Are you being original? Are you going to show up every day polished to the T? Or are you going to show that you're human and okay, today's not a good day? And what you will learn is that being consistent doesn't stop the unexpected disruptions. You may be sick. If you don't have recordings already banked up and pre-recorded so you can just post, then you're going to be recording while you're sick, or that's going to be a reason why you do not. And then there goes your consistency. There may be a family emergency. Your child gets sick. You have to go out of town. You have an event, the weather, internet connection. Just today, as I've been trying to record, it said my internet connection was messing up. So these are things that you really have to prepare for in advance because things do come up. Things do come up. How are you going to handle it? How are you going to how are you going to prepare for it? Let's see, what else do I have? I hear when I watch interviews and I'm listening to actors or actresses talk about the movie that they've been in or the show they've been in, and they've been asked, what did you think when you watched it? And they would say, I actually don't watch myself in the movies that I'm in or in the shows that I'm in. So if that's you, that could be you. But me, I do watch it. and you will see areas where you need to improve on. Otherwise, you'll just be taking someone else's word for it. So I suggest you go through and listen. I know a lot of people don't like the sound of their voice, but it is a good thing to do. That's how you grow. That's how you find areas that you were never aware of to make sure that you correct it. I've seen that, I've noticed that, and I also have family who will, are dedicated and committed to listening to what I have to say and also giving me critiques. Oh, you could have did this better. I love the way your hair was. Your lipstick was nice. You said too many uhs or ums. These are things that you that's definitely something that you learn in Toastmasters, is to watch those filler words. There will be times, especially at the very beginning, where you are very nervous. You have to pause. You're trying to figure out, do you stop and start all over again? Do you pause? Do you edit later? Do you leave the mistakes in there? These are all things that you will figure out as you go, but you have to start. You have to start somewhere. And you have to start with what you have. It definitely requires some patience. Are you going to have a script? I didn't have a script. My growth was writing down my thoughts, like I told you, going through the titles and then organizing it on my paper. I have a whole notebook actually. Look, it's like I have a whole notebook of episodes and writings and thoughts, and I go through and organize it. But now, and actually on several occasions, I have just came on here and free flowed because I'm really trying to test myself and grow. This is for everyone else that's listening as well as for me, because it's important that I share my experiences, SME, so that you are aware, so that you're not afraid to do the same. And I truly believe that if we all spent more time sharing our experiences, we all would have less drama to go through. We could learn from each other, and we all can excel at a faster rate. So why not? No one here is perfect. So we're all trying something new, hopefully. And there's going to be mistakes along the way. So why not share those experiences? That helps other people who are listening know that they're not alone. Definitely get out of your comfort zone. Even if you do decide to interview guests, don't be afraid or ashamed to just have an episode by yourself. Just speak candidly. I have on here, it's one thing to record, it's another thing to rev it. And when I say rev it, I mean revenue generated. You need to find ways. It doesn't just come at the very beginning. There is money that is being, expensed, but it's very important to find a way to monetize. And also, as you get your engagement up, as you get more followers and more subscribers, depending on the platform, yes, you can get it monetized. But why limit it to just that type of monetization when you can also, as I mentioned earlier, include commercials, include interviews or sponsors or affiliates? Definitely something to look into. For sure, for sure. And as I said, no matter what stage, you should always still be growing. So I'm still growing in these areas as well. I spoke about the good days, the bad days, the sick days, vacation days, the tech issues, the mic issues. When you are interviewing someone else, especially if they are joining from online as well, it's not just your internet connection you have to worry about, it's theirs. It's not just your microphone that you have to worry about, it's theirs. So making sure that you have enough time to make adjustments if necessary to still keep on schedule. Very important. If I went by just how many likes or subscribers I have, I would have quit by now. I would have quit by now. But I know that things take time. I enjoy this. I see how I'm improving myself. And I know that I have a message that is important to get out. It's about humanity. It's about leadership. It's about coming together. So many people say you need to niche down. You need to niche down. And I was just having this conversation with someone I was speaking to because I looked on his website And on his website, he mentioned that his speeches are not just for one type of audience, basically, is what he's saying. And I am in that same boat. It's not just for corporate. When I say corporate, corporate is really just a building. It's just a place. It's just an entity. There are people in there. So my message is for people within the workplace, outside of it. It's when you're a leader, it doesn't have to just be in a corporation. It could be in your neighborhood. It can be in your home. When you're talking about communication, it's not just in the boardroom. It's in your family room. It's at the grocery store. How are you communicating? How are you resolving and preventing conflict? So when I say it's across the board, that is my mission. My mission is to be the thread that connects all communities, regardless of race and religion and gender and income, demographics, geography, all of that good stuff. That's my mission. Because we do have commonalities. We can do better. And if we all came together, shared our perspectives, we could come up with some amazing solutions, some world shifting, world changing solutions. So that's what my podcast is about. As you grow, you will fine tune it as you get more episodes in. Oh, the other thing, as you are growing and you're getting engagement and you're listening to your viewers, are you changing to what they want? Are you catering to what they want? If they say, hey, you should do this, are you going that route? Are you only on trends? Or are you speaking from the heart? And that's something that no one else can dictate. That's me. I'm not dictated by what others are saying or doing. Also, where does your inspiration come from? So, like I said, mine comes from the inside. I can look at anything and be guided and inquisitive about it. I'm so appreciative that I have made it to my 100th episode. I do see my growth. It is exciting for me. As I'm speaking right now, I don't have, anything right now written down. I did take notes for this episode as always, so that I can make sure that I definitely uh, make sure I make certain points. But one thing I don't like about it is that after you hit stop and you publish, you can't go back and add to that thought. You can't go back and add to it. So when people are listening to it, they could have said, oh, Kim, you left this part out. You didn't think about this. You should have added this. And I did, but I forgot to mention it. You can have all the notes in the world and still forget a point. Yes, you can go back and edit it and add it in there, re-record, but otherwise it's already out there. And so that's something that you really have to understand and acknowledge. Once it's out there, it's out there. So be mindful of your words and what exactly are you using this platform for? I want you to think about that yourself. Know what you're putting out there. Know what your mission is. Mine are not about authenticity, truth seeking. It's about leadership. It's about values. It's about ethical and empathetical content. It's about community. It's about leadership. And it's about always being a student and growing throughout, looking back and looking at how far you've come, being inspirational, applying what the challenges and the lessons that we faced before and applying to the future, looking to see how those experiences actually created stepping stones to, take us to our purpose. I'm excited. I will celebrate this weekend. I will celebrate. I didn't tell my husband until today that I actually made my 100th episode. And he was like, oh, we would have got you balloons and celebrated and all that good stuff. So I will take some time this week and celebrate now that it has been recorded and this is episode 101. I look forward to speaking with you all again, sharing my experiences, and really just wanting to learn from you, just like you are learning from my experiences as well. You all be blessed, and until next time, I will see you soon. You have been listening to the Community Solutions Podcast. You all be blessed.